Right now it is 4-on-4. Ed, what is the strategy now when it comes to bouncing on these 18 trampolines you see there?
Well, you really got to be careful when you're using the tramps because you don't want to put yourself at a disadvantage. You know, if you're in the air and the ball's coming at you, it's much more difficult to catch if you didn't plan on that way. But look at Atlanta right now. Two guys back in the left corner. They're splitting up their opponents, making them throw at one. And right now, Wheeler, right here, Sean Wheeler is the only one with the ball. He's got three there. He should probably flip one back to his teammate. He did not do that there.
Well, Norberg with a great catch, Ed. What does that mean for Grand Rapids?
That's a huge turnaround, Trace, because right now Grand Rapids is up 4-1, and Andy Smith is all alone back there, and it's going to be tough for him to fend these guys off. So let's see what happens. Smith with a throw, and here comes Grand Rapids, and looks like a couple blocks, but no, the ref calls him out, and it's game over.
So Grand Rapids, outside of Detroit, will take game 1 of 3. What made the difference here, Ed?
Well, it's 5-on-5, and Norberg makes a great no-look throw to hit Chris Wheeler and take him out in center court. And then note the great dodge by number 69, Bridges, as he goes down and uses the mat to his full advantage. And now we're 4-on-3, and Bailey from Grand Rapids hits Liam Bartlett on the retreat after a weak throw, but a nice shot at the legs. Then he gets hit by Sean Wheeler with a nice cross-court shot. And there goes Wheeler. Bang! Takes him out. And there it is again. And you don't get much more accurate than that. Now here we are, 3-on-2, Grand Rapids up, and Wheeler throws cross-court. Not a great throw. Norberg makes an awesome catch, and actually made an easy catch look pretty hard as he went down to the corner there. And now we're on 4-on-1. Smith, last man standing from Roswell, defending using the ball. A controversial call. The refs say he was hit while using the ball to block. And if you look at the replay, he clearly defends each ball. So unfortunately for Atlanta, the game ends on a tough call, and we move on.
So Roswell goes down in game 1 of our best-of-3 matchup, and here we go with game 2.
Yeah, Trace, you should know that those calls are happening so fast. Very hard for the refs to see those, especially when you're looking at hitting the fingertips. And if you do hit a player's fingertips, they are out. So I'm sure that's what the referee on the court thought he saw at that pace. Very hard to tell. Very tough call for Atlanta. And now the action is just not let up. Look at this, Trace. Both teams are just firing away.
Sky Zone Roswell in Atlanta in black right there versus Sky Zone Grand Rapids in Detroit. They're in the royal blue.
Wheeler's a very aggressive player, very accurate thrower. Really wish he'd pick that ball up again and use it to his advantage. And there's another catch by Grand Rapids, and it brings in another player and puts Atlanta at a disadvantage.
3-on-5, Atlanta circling the drain once again, Ed.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Atlanta wants to hang in there. I mean, the Grand Rapids guys are just firing on all cylinders. But here comes Atlanta. They're playing smart. They're holding it up. This is the way to play it. Now, I wouldn't advise throwing one ball at a time like that. See, they both threw separate. Had they thrown together, that would have put the Grand Rapids player at a huge disadvantage, number 22. And now it swings the other way where it keeps Atlanta on the defense.
Great shot. Oh, and a big catch.
Holy smokes. Bridges makes the throw, pounces off of Moses, who blocks it, and Bailey comes down with a catch. And the next thing you know, Grand Rapids has another player in, and now we're looking at a really lopsided situation again here, Trace.
The old ricochet that results in a catch.
Well, Chris Wheeler isn't giving up. I mean, these Atlanta guys are all really great players, all very solid and very, very capable. So if he makes the catch here, they can get back into this really quickly.
4-on-1. Atlanta down a game, and they could be finished here as Grand Rapids keeps firing away.
Great defense by Wheeler there, and he's going to come up and take his shot at the Grand Rapids guys, and then one down.
Wow.
Two down. And it's getting really interesting here, Trace, because, like I said, these guys can come back at any moment. Atlanta's got a very solid team.
Wheeler hanging in there, but not enough. 1-on-4. He couldn't handle it as Atlanta goes down.
Yeah, and it was a really exciting game early on, especially. Here we are at 4-on-4. Sean Wheeler throws, but a nice catch by Morley in the corner. And look at the way he just looked that ball into his body, got up, all fired up. Look at that. He goes right down, uses the tramps to his advantage, comes up with a huge catch there, and sends Wheeler to the sideline. And that was a big loss for Atlanta. And this play here is awesome because Bridges makes a great throw. The ball bounces up and from Morley, and that ball is still live. So then Bailey makes the catch, and it's still a good ball, live ball. So Grand Rapids gets another player in, and Atlanta loses one. And that's a big loss for Atlanta there. That turned the game around. So here we are, 4-on-2. Morley and Bailey on the attack off Roswell's captain, Andy Smith, and Morley connects with our first headshot of the show. Right to the noggin, and off goes Andy Smith. Let's take a look at that again because it's a heck of a throw. And then bang, right in the face. He ducks, but it just doesn't work out for him and throws the ball away, so obviously wasn't too hurt.
And then a 4-on-1 with Wheeler flying solo.
Yeah, nice dodge and throw as Bailey attacks Wheeler. He ducks under it, and he's able to release a shot to Bailey's knee. Great play by Wheeler. And here we have an awesome throw by Norberg to end the game. Wheeler tries to get out of the way, but he just can't avoid that throw. And look at it. It's just a rocket by Norberg to finish off Atlanta.
So a great matchup between these two teams, but success for Grand Rapids.
We're fired. I'm bringing the fire. We're here. Let's go. We're here and we're not stopping.
We're used to winning. We don't know how to lose, man.
Doom, God's bleed. So watch out. We're coming for you. Let's go. We're coming for you.
All right, stick around, everyone. When we return, it's an all-Canadian matchup as two teams from the Toronto area hit the court.
Feel like flying? Try open jump. Want to play dodgeball? Play it in 3D. Foam pit action? The course is yours. Sky Zone Indoor Trampoline Park, the ultimate 3D play experience for all ages.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Welcome back to Ultimate Dodgeball from Las Vegas, Nevada, brought to you by Sky Zone Indoor Trampoline Park. Ultimate Dodgeball lives here. Visit skyzone.com for a park near you. And by Center Edge Software. Serious software for a fun business. Learn more at centeredgesoftware.com. Ultimate Dodgeball continues here at Sky Zone. Trace Worthington with Ed Prentice. A great matchup we saw in our first round where Grand Rapids took top honors. Now it's time to move on to our next one. This is going to be a big one. Two Canadian teams will battle it out, and it is Toronto Sky Zone. They'll take on Mississauga Sky Zone. Ed, I'm sure these two teams know each other well. What do you expect to see?
Well, like you said, Trace, these guys do know each other well, and that means anything could happen. If you thought that last matchup was exciting, wait till you see this one, because in this 2 out of 3 format, you've got to get out to a quick jump. And Toronto, who normally plays pretty conservative, they're a very smart, strategic team. I expect them to try to get a jump on Mississauga, and I don't think Mississauga is going to have any of that. They're going to be coming back hard. So anybody can win. I've got to give the edge to Toronto, though.
All right, looking forward to it. Before we begin, let's meet some of the guys from our first matchups. It's Sky Zone Mississauga versus Sky Zone Toronto. Sky Zone Mississauga made up of Cameron Ranikin, Matthew Silvera, Jason McVetti. There's Ian Chalmers, Brian Sewell, and Mark Sivravi. A very powerful team from Toronto made up of Dave Kuttner, Jeff Snow, Michael Lazick, Jonah Koplowitz, Jason Mergler, and Dan Bitsakai. And here we go, Mississauga on the far side of the screen in blue, Toronto in red. Here we go with game 1 of 3, Ed.
two very strong teams out of Canada here. Canada is known for having a lot of serious dodgeballers up there, and you can see they play a little more defensive, and both teams are sizing each other up right now. And there they go. The ref gives them a warning. Each team is only allowed to hold the ball for a certain amount of time, several seconds each, and then you'll hear the ref chime in and force them to throw. If they do not throw, that player who did not throw will be removed from the court.
Who are some of the strong players on the Toronto side?
Well, you got to say on the Toronto side, Dave Kuttner is obviously their captain and their leader on that court. And I think everything centers around him. If Dave's having a good day, the team's having a good day. Jeff Snow, Mike Laziak, Koplowitz, Mergler. I mean, these guys have all been playing together for a while, and they're all very solid dodgeball players.
Getting worked, though, by Mississauga.
Yeah, I don't think they expected this. They came out here expecting to handle Mississauga pretty handily, but this isn't looking that way. Mississauga's just packing them off one at a time. And look at that.
Wow. And just like that, Toronto goes down. That's what you need to do against Toronto. Just come out firing, Hyatt.
Yeah, and we go back to the 4-on-5 here, and Snow, while in the act of throwing, gets nailed by McVetti for Mississauga. I mean, Snow was just caught off guard. It takes one right to the face, and there it is. And McVetti doesn't stop there. 5-on-3, and he just nails Bithicott with a nice cross-court bullet right to his shoulder. And look at McVetti just dropping guys left and right from Toronto. And now we're Mergler. He's in the corner in Silveria on a very close call. The ball just nips him in the shin, and Mergler gets up very disappointed. And there we see it again. Drops to the mat, looks up, and walks to the sideline. 5-on-1, and a couple guys from Toronto retreat, but Laziak drops the throw and then gets nailed as he falls to the mat.
So Mississauga looking very strong here, Ed, in the first of 3 matchups.
Yeah, Toronto did not expect that. Mississauga just cleared the plate with these guys, and I'm sure they're going to come back for vengeance.
Coming up, more Ultimate Dodgeball. Stay tuned. If you're interested in this great sport of Ultimate Dodgeball, make sure you head over to udodgeball.com. There you can learn more about the sport, see great videos, and locate upcoming Ultimate Dodgeball events at a Sky Zone near you. Again, check out udodgeball.com.
Make sure you catch the upcoming Ultimate Dodgeball Pepsi Charity Challenge, when Randy Couture's team of MMA athletes hit the Sky Zone trampolines to take on Team Sky Zone. Check your local listings for the upcoming episode on this channel.
Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Ultimate Dodgeball, presented by Sky Zone and by John Sakash Company, premium rigging solutions for your wire rope and rigging needs. And by Eddie Kane Steel, your #1 source for steel plate. Back to the action, Mississauga versus Toronto. Mississauga taking game 1 of 3, and here we go with game 2.
Yeah, and Trace, it was a big surprise for Toronto. I mean, they just did not expect to go down like that, and I expect them to come back strong. Toronto's one of the best teams in the league, so my guess is here they're going to have an answer for what Mississauga did the first time around.
We are at Sky Zone, Las Vegas. 2 Canadian teams battling it out. Mississauga there in blue.
Yeah, and this is going to be a heck of a game. Oh, and look at that, not paying attention. Mississauga loses a player, but they still go on the attack and put Toronto on their heels. Captain David Kuttner calling out some commands there to his team, trying to get these guys rallied and back into this thing, Trace.
Toronto, this is pretty shocking. Seems like they'd be a little bit more aggressive here in the second game.
They're up 1 player, or no, it's 4-on-4 here. Looks like there was a bit of a controversy there. We'll take a look at it later, but right now they're up 4-3, and here comes Toronto throwing. And now they drop back. Watch the rhythm of the Toronto players. They come up to the line, they make their throws, and they drop back. It's a very controlled game. And there's Snow, goes up to grab a ball and see how he retreats back to play a little defense, and then they talk it over.
Toronto a bit shaken after just getting blasted out of that first game by Mississauga.
And here they go, playing their game, taking each player on Mississauga one at a time.
Now this is the normal patience you usually see out of Toronto.
Yeah, not like the first game. The first game was a complete aberration. That's probably too big of a word for dodgeball, but it was a complete aberration.
I got it. The refs telling Mississauga to throw the ball, Ed.
Yeah, they can't hold that ball. It's called stalling, and if they hold the ball for too long, the ref counts it down. If they do not throw the ball, they are called out of the game, and you do not want to lose a game on a call like that, on a stalling call.
And 2-on-1, and Kuttner's still out on the court. You don't want to be out there flying solo with Kuttner on the court.
No, but Toronto's got to be careful because they didn't have anything to protect themselves there with, but now they do. And Severa's back there trying to find a way to protect himself, but Snow's up front, and Snow, a powerful lefty, just fires one, and look at him. He knows he took him out. Severa knows, and he steps to the sideline as Toronto ties this thing up. And if we go back to early on in the game, 5-on-5, Mergler throws, and Chalmers makes a grab against the back net. And there you go. He uses the back wall and comes in and just dials it in, and out goes one for Toronto. 4-on-4, and McVetti makes a low throw that catches Snow on the ankle. However, the referee calls him over the orange line on the center court.
Very sensitive call, and you can see just barely over the line.